remind you that extremism in the defense of liberty is no vice. And let me remind you also that moderation in the pursuit of justice is no virtue.
Industrial giant, to get government back within its means and to lighten our punitive tax burden. And these will be our first priorities, and on these principles there will be no compromise. I can hear you! I can hear you! The rest of the world hears you! And the people...
Never give in. Never, never, never. In nothing, great or small, large or petty, never give in except to convictions of honor and good sense. Never yield to force. Never yield to the apparently overwhelming might of the enemy.
I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land. So I'm happy tonight. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not fearing any man. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord.
We declare our right on this earth to be a man, to be a human being, to be respected as a human being, to be given the rights of a human being in this society, on this earth, in this day, which we intend to bring into existence by any means necessary.
Apostle Claver T. Kamau-Imani on RagingElePhantsRadio.com.
Hey, what's up, Saints and Patriots? Apostle Claver T. Kamau-Imani, RagingElePhantsRadio.com, the rebellious voice of Texas liberty. So glad you joined me today. I'm glad to be here today. It hasn't been a good day for Butch. Butch has not had a good day. Well, Barbara was feeling a little bit under the weather. Jasmine was feeling a bit under the weather. And then I've been out and about most of the day. So the pamper and spoil level that Butch usually receives greatly diminished today. So it has not been a good day for Butch. It really hasn't. So if he burst into the studio at some point demanding that I give him attention, don't be surprised. He has not received his daily quota of pampering, spoiling, and petting. He has not. So I'm more concerned about Butch's spoil factor than I am about the coronavirus. I am. Today's program will include returning back to Raging Elephants Radio, RER contributor. She follows transportation for us in Texas. She's the foremost expert on transportation liberty here in the Lone Star State. Terry Hall from Texas Turf. And the first question I'm going to have to ask Terry is, well, have you split up your family? Because there's this order that people aren't supposed to be gathering in groups of more than 10, and she's got 10 children. What do you do when the government tells you you can't gather in groups of more than 10 and you have a family of 12? What do you do? So before we even get to transportation tyranny in Texas during the panic, I'm going to have to ask Terry the pressing question, the probing question, the hard question. How do you deal with a government that tells you your family is like illegal? Your family is a risk to public health. That's the first thing I want to know. Above everything else. And I hope everybody is doing well out there. And I hope everybody is chilled out. I hope everybody has gone to the pharmacy, and you are stocked up on your antidepressant, your anti-anxiety medications, your Xanax, your Vicodin, whatever you need to get through all of this. All you need is faith. Faith to know that everything is going to be cool. And I truly am more concerned about the Texas economy than I am about the health of individual Texans. Now, that may sound callous, but I think my priorities and my faith are placed properly. I believe that the American, if not the global medical community, is going to come up with a therapeutic for the coronavirus. I'm calling it the coronavirus because Ginger Billy, with his Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia, Tennessee combined accent, calls it coronavirus. And I'm gonna have to play Ginger Billy today, just for laughs, just for laughs. We have to keep levity in these times of panic. I believe that the international medical community is going to come up with a therapeutic, going to come up with some sort of cure. It's a simple virus. This is not AIDS. And I told you last night what it reminds me of. If I'm looking at it from a distance, if I'm looking at it from a pedestrian, uneducated point of view, I'm going to equate it to something like pneumonia, which I have had, which is not pleasant, but I'm here still kicking and talking to you today. That was several years ago. And there are reports that people, they go into the hospital, they recover, and they come out. So apparently they know how to treat it. Now, if you are elderly, if your immune system has been compromised, it's weakened somehow, your chances of survival are reduced. But it's not like people are going into the hospital and they're not coming back out. People are going into the hospital and they're coming out. I think it's the fact that a lot of people may have to go into the hospital that's freaking people out. But on a per capita basis, the amount of deaths that we're seeing from COVID-19, is it really logical to shut down? Is it really rational? Is it smart, wise to shut down the economy the way we have shut down the economy? This is what I am truly concerned about, and this is what I have been focusing on, especially from a Texas perspective. How is this shutdown going to hurt the Texas economy, Texas businessmen and women, Texas jobs, Texas families, our ability to accumulate wealth? This is what I am most concerned about, more so than the impact of the virus on individual human beings or even the threat of life, the inability for Texans to be able to keep a roof over their head. This is what I am most concerned about. I told you guys from the very beginning, coming back off the campaign trail, getting back behind the microphone, and the coronavirus COVID-19 panic hitting Texas, I said that I was going to be the anti-panic talk show host. And I'm continuing to be the anti-panic talk show host. I do not believe that the measures that are being taken right now to correct the spread or stop the spread of coronavirus is necessary. I think the medicine is worse than the disease. President Trump tweeted about it last week. Is the medicine shutting down the United States economy, shutting down the global economy worse than the disease itself? My answer to that question is yes, and I will continue to focus on the impact of the economy. Little ice cream shop down the street from where Barbara, Jasmine, and I live. Little ice cream shop. Passed by it the other day, completely shut down. I went over there because usually the restaurants, the eateries, the food places, they'll have up a little sign. Hey, you can't sit down, you can't eat, you can't congregate, but we are open. There's takeout, and most restaurants are doing that. We know Tina Moody Bryan, the butcher shop up in Longview, that's what they're doing. You go to most restaurants, you drive by, you drive by Los Cucos or somewhere, and they've got a canopy set up or a tent set up. You drive by Chick-fil-A. If you got a pickup order from Chick-fil-A, they got a canopy set up out there. If you do a digital mobile order, you can drive by, pick it up, and keep on rolling. The ice cream shop wasn't like that. You can go to some banh mi shop. You can go to some noodle shop, and they'll say, no, you can't congregate within the restaurant, and the chairs are up on the table. But you can go in, you can call ahead, you can get you a takeout. You can order a takeout, get your noodles, and keep on rolling. But the ice cream shop wasn't like that. And I rolled on over there, went to the parking lot, got out of the car, peeked in. No, it's gone. Ice cream shop, all the fixtures gone. There were no chairs on tables. There was no tables, there was no chairs, there was no ice cream refrigerators, there was no fixtures, there was no lights were on, no sign that said, hey, we'll be back after the coronavirus leaves us alone. There was none of that. The business was gone. And what I'm afraid of, not operating in a spirit of fear, just using it as a colloquialism, just saying, what I'm afraid of is more businesses are going to be like that. I really feel for businesses that cranked up, let's say, in January of 2020, businesses that just opened their doors with all these hopes and all these dreams, and now the economy is shut down. Businesses that were just granted commercial loans, and now all of a sudden their doors are shuttered by order of the government. Those are the ones that I really care about. Those are the ones that I'm really in fear of as a small business owner. So the economy, to me, is what we really need to be focusing on. Because look, there are those that think, there are people out there that believe that once the all clear is given, that all of a sudden it's going to be like turning on a light and the economy is going to be like it was in November of 2019. And I don't think that's going to be the case. When I'm driving around and I'm seeing no cars at any retail locations, when I'm seeing not a single car at Memorial City Mall, wherever you live in the Lone Star State, and there are those that, watch and listen from outside of Texas as well, wherever you are, and you're seeing the economy completely, totally shut down, it's not going to be turning on a light switch, and all of a sudden the economy is going to be back where it was in the fall of 2019. The Trump stock market is gone. And we're going to get to the stock market as I've been doing every night. We're going to get to the oil market as I've been doing every night, because this is what is most impacting Texans right now. Your 401k, your retirement, where's the market going? What is oil doing? What is energy doing? What is natural gas doing? Because it is the backbone of the Texas economy. Yes, we are much more diversified now, but that's our bread and butter, Texas tea. So I'm following all of that, and tonight I'm going to be talking once again about all those different issues, because it matters most to us. You can go turn on the Foxies, and you can turn on the Communist News Network. You can go turn on MSDNC, and they're going to give you the coronavirus numbers and scare you, and so you can have nightmares tonight. But let's talk about our ability to make money in Texas, for us to stay wealthy in Texas. Is this government international shutdown of the economy necessary? From the very beginning, I have said no. Better measures could be taken to stop the spread of coronavirus versus endangering all our abilities to put food in our mouth. All these bailouts that are on the table. We're going to talk about all of it. This is why you watch and listen to RagingElePhantsRadio.com, because the info that you're going to get here, you're really not going to get anywhere else. Don't cut the stream, because if you're not listening, you're not learning. Thanks for joining me. We'll get to business right after this.
RER Cross is the Christian programming of RagingElePhantsRadio.com. Pastor Edwin Guerra delivers passionate sermons.
And then I'm reminded, God is greater than our feelings. There are times that you don't want to be Jesus to people because you just don't feel worthy. God is greater than how we feel. And that is our hope. We are called to be the hands and feet of Jesus. We are not called to be emotional, up and down, Christianese type of people. We are called to be bold and stand firm on what we believe, even if you don't feel like it.
Enjoy Pastor Edwin Guerra, 8:30 a.m. and 8:30 p.m. Sundays on RER Cross, right here on RagingElePhantsRadio.com.
Stop smoking and enjoy it. Electronic cigarette vaporizers. More than an actual product, this is the name of the company that's going to lead you to a tobacco-free life. Apostle Claver here. ECV is where I went to break my cigar usage. Now I'm a happy vape fan. Vaping, healthy, more socially acceptable. The new cool thing. No one's better in Texas to intro you to the world and tech of vaping than electronic cigarette vaporizers. Bart, Chantal, Max, and Chris will teach you every feature of the dozens of vaping devices to choose from. ECV has a cornucopia of flavors, from fruity to cookies or even tobacco, each made from all natural products. No carcinogens, no smoky smell, and the choice of nicotine levels. Slowly drop your nic level down to 0 and break your tobacco habit with no jitters or stress while enjoying relaxing inhalation. You've been wanting to do it, so do it. Stop smoking and enjoy it. Electronic cigarette vaporizers, 2755 Gessner in Houston. Call 713-939-8273, 713-939-VAPE, or see the ad on RagingElePhantsRadio.com.
When Andrew Jackson ran for president in 1828, his opponents called him a jackass. Jackson liked the image so much, it became the mascot of the new Democratic Party.
Green Air Technology will sanitize, sterilize, and defunctifies your home. Our treatment utilizes a high-output biocleaner to eradicate bacteria, germs, and airborne pathogens and allergens in any home, vehicle, or facility. So if your facility or home smells funky like a bow-legged monkey, call Green Air Technologies. We are dedicated to eliminating odor and airborne contaminants at home, at work, or even in your vehicle.
Now featuring Biosphere.
Call Jim Green at 346-254-9217 or go to greenairtech.com. 346-254-9217 or go to greenairtech.com.
Here's another reason to visit the RER Marketplace. It's springtime. Every year we have to get that yard and flower beds in shape. Go to the RER Marketplace Lawn and Garden to get your supplies. Buy all your fertilizer, weed and feed, flower food, and garden tools through the RER Marketplace, powered by Amazon. It's another easy way to support RER. Just by getting all of your fertilizer and plant food through the RER Marketplace, you're supporting the work of RER. No Amazon services or price change. RER gets a small commission to keep operating and expanding. The RER Marketplace Lawn and Garden. Click the Marketplace ad on RagingElePhantsRadio.com.
Numbers equal power. Spread the word about RagingElePhantsRadio.com.
Just peek in Facebook.com/RagingElePhantsRadio. The original Liberty Shock Jock, the amazing Doc Green. He's in there. What's up, Doc? I love you, my brother. I hope everybody over there on your side of town and Katie is doing well. I hope Joanne is doing well. Your father-in-law is doing well over there. Levi is doing well. All your daughters and grandchildren are doing well. I love Doc Green. I absolutely love him. I love him down to the bone marrow. I love me some James Doc Green Sr. I do. I really do. And it's good to see him in there. That guy, and you can hear the amazing Doc Green. I'm the one who gave him that nickname. As you know, I'm specially anointed by the Most High God to give nicknames to people. And if you are attached to Raging Elephants Radio, you got to have a nickname. I'm still working on Susan Dantzler's. For some reason, I'm allowing her to give me to give her. I have to get approval from her on whatever nickname I come up with. No other human being I've given license to like that. But for some reason, Susan feels like I can't give her a nickname unless she approves of it. I don't know. I don't know. I may have to. I don't know. I got to come up with a nickname for Susan. The girl's from Texas. She's one of the girls from Texas. And the fecal matter is really about to hit the fan. It's April the 1st. And this day is not for fools, not this year, because rent is due. The fecal matter on this economic shutdown, this global economic shutdown really is about to hit the fan because it's April 1st and rent is due for a lot of people. I mean, you look at a place like New York City, and what is it? Close to 3/4 of the people, the population of New York City are renters. Commercial real estate is going to get slammed. Now, I'm not a real estate guy. There's a lot of you folks out there, man, you're flippers extraordinaire. You watch all the flipping programs. I watch all the flipping programs, and I'm like, I don't get it. I still don't get it. I'm a cash guy. I'm a market guy. The real estate aspect of it, I mean, to me, it's just too much work, really, real estate, But the fecal matter is about to hit the fan because it's April 1st. And since the coronavirus has hit, and remember last week, 3.3 million people filed for unemployment. Tomorrow, we get the unemployment claims again for the second week in a row. They're saying it's going to be higher than the 3.3 million from last week. And then on Friday, we get the unemployment numbers, and there's some folks out there whispering that we could see a 3-point rise in unemployment February over March in just 1 month. But the fecal matter really is hitting the fan because you got landlords out there. What are you going to do? What are you going to do, landlords? Are you going to start evicting people? That's what I want to know. Are you going to start evicting people? I hope not. I really hope that people aren't going to be kicked out of their homes and apartments. From Bloomberg, U.S. retailers plan to stop paying rent to offset virus. And just let me say, I hear about there's some sort of digital protest going on by renters, individuals that are saying, we're not going to pay our rent. What do you landlords, you real estate magnates out there, what are you going to do? If you have rent to pay and you've been furloughed, you've been laid off, and you're waiting for your $1,200 to come from America's Gestapo, the Internal Revenue Service, $1,200 for some people in some cities, in some states. I mean, that won't keep the lights on. That's not going to pay your rent. The article says major U.S. retail and restaurant chains, including Mattress Firm and Subway, are telling landlords to take a hike. That's not what it said. I'm editorializing it. Are telling landlords they will withhold or slash rent in the coming months after closing stores to slow the coronavirus, according to people familiar with the situation. In a brewing fight, chains are calling for rent reductions through lease amendments and other measures starting in April, which is today. Said the people who asked not to be named because the discussions are private. These moves mark the next phase in the virus fallout. What happens to billions in rent owed for businesses that have been closed? The stakes are high. Retail has a slew of big chains in turnaround mode. And if they do withhold payments, there would be a ripple effect. Landlords can't afford to stop collecting rent for long, with many property owners sitting on loads of debt. The situation is likely to get messier. The U.S. relief packages being considered don't directly address rents, but the Federal Reserve's actions may give banks the leeway to defer mortgage payments, allowing property owners to delay rent. It's also unclear if retailers can declare a so-called force majeure, a contract clause that covers highly unusual events, and if landlords could then make the same case to insurers. Quote, the court system is just going to get flooded with 1 million of these disputes between tenants and landlords, end of quote, said Vince Tybone, an analyst at Green Street Advisors. He continues, if the government doesn't step in, once again, the government's got to step in. The government's got to be Superman. The government has got to be the cavalry, right? If the government doesn't step in any form or fashion, it could get ugly. They need to respond quickly, end of quote. Mattress Firm with about 2,400 stores sent landlords a letter last week saying it would cut rent in exchange for longer leases and offering two options to do so. This week, it sent a more urgent note revoking its earlier offer. The company wrote in a letter reviewed by Bloomberg, quote, the decline in revenue and forced store closures across the nation are more drastic, compressed, and immediate than we originally anticipated. Our need is now more severe, the firm said, invoking the virus as a force majeure event that, quote, will prevent or prohibit us, end of quote, from paying rent. After being contacted by Bloomberg, mattress firm confirmed that it has requested a temporary suspension of rent. Randy Carlin, chief real estate officer for a mattress firm, said in a statement, quote, we appreciate our landlord partners and the responses have been encouraging so far. We will continue to do everything we can to maintain business continuity and to ensure that there are jobs available for our people to return to when this crisis ends, end of quote. Do you have that power? If you are a renter of an apartment, of a condo, of a single family home, do you have the power to declare force majeure? Hey man, the coronavirus is hit, I can't pay the rent. What if you're a landlord? What if you're one of these guys out here that owns 3, 4, 5, 10 homes and you got renters in it and they can't pay and you got mortgage, you got a loan on each one of those houses? What are you going to do? April 1st, man, this is not a day for fools. This is not an April Fool's Day to be playing. This is an April for real day. This is a day to get extremely wise about the coronavirus and shutting down the United States economy. I've been saying since the president has shut down the economy, since the global economy has been shuttered, I've been saying there's going to be this knock-on effect. There's going to be this domino effect. There's going to be these unintended consequences. Like President Trump tweeted last week, is the cure worse than the disease? Is shutting down the economy worse than the threat of the coronavirus itself? There's some people out there whose retirement is based on their ability to collecting rent. There's retirees out there. Are they going to be able to collect their rent from their tenants? Like I said, the fecal matter today of all days, the fecal matter is really going to hit the fan because we're talking about real estate, the market today, the stock market today. All 11 sectors of the stock market were in the red. All 11 sectors of the stock market was down. Which sector of the stock market was hit the hardest on this day by 3 p.m. Texas time when the stock market closed? It was real estate. It was down by almost 8% today. The market itself, generally, whether it was the NASDAQ, the S&P, the Dow Jones, the metrics, was down about 4.5%. The Russell 2000 was down by 7%. Russell 2000, the small cap stocks. Real estate was down by almost 8% because it's April 1st and rent is due. This is not pretty. This is not pretty. I don't know what I don't have any answers except open up the economy. That's my answer. Stop doing damage to Texans and Americans generally. Let them go back to work. Come up with some new rules. Say, okay, look, man, you can't leave your house unless you got a mask on, unless you got some plastic gloves on or something. Something. Leather gloves like Ginger Billy, because, nothing to get through leather gloves. I mean, something. But the economy has got to be opened up. This is not going to be a V-shaped recovery. The longer we keep the economy shut down, the knock-on effect, the domino impact is going to be greater. We need the economy to get reopened right now. Right now. Big problems coming if we don't. Raging Elephants Radio, the rebellious voice of Texas liberty. Stop smoking and enjoy it. Electronic cigarette vaporizers. More than an actual product, this is the name of the company that's going to lead you to a tobacco-free life. Apostle Claver here. ECV is where I went to break my cigar usage. Now I'm a happy vape fan. Vaping, healthy, more socially acceptable. The new cool thing. No one's better in Texas to intro you to the world and tech of vaping than electronic cigarette vaporizers. Bart, Chantal, Max, and Chris will teach you every feature of the dozens of vaping devices to choose from. ECV has a cornucopia of flavors, from fruity to cookies or even tobacco, each made from all natural products. No carcinogens, no smoky smell, and the choice of nicotine levels. Slowly drop your nic level down to 0 and break your tobacco habit with no jitters or stress while enjoying relaxing inhalation. You've been wanting to do it, so do it. Stop smoking and enjoy it. Electronic cigarette vaporizers, 2755 Gessner in Houston. Call 713-939-8273, 713-939-VAPE, or see the ad on RagingElephantRadio.com.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
One of the premier property management companies in Texas, providing below-market rates with above-market amenities and service. Hartman has owned and operated commercial office properties since 1983, offering premium office space at an affordable price by saving businesses a significant amount of money by keeping taxes, utilities, and maintenance low. With over 30 years in commercial leasing in Houston, San Antonio, and Dallas, we have learned exactly what our customers require.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
Managed on Christian principles with a strong dedication to community benevolence. Whether you need 1,000 or 10,000 square foot of office space, Hartman has that space in one of nearly 50 Texas locations.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
Energy-efficient buildings, customer-friendly experts, supporters of conservative causes. A Texas-owned and operated business for 30 years. A proud corporate sponsor of RagingElephantRadio.com.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
Visit Hartman online, hi-REIT.com. Call 800-880-2212 or click the ad on RagingElephantRadio.com.
Texas independence. Have you ever thought about it? What exactly does it mean, or is it even possible? Sam Houston said,
Texas will raise her head among the nations.
Was he a dreamer or a prophet? You can get the answers to these questions in the book Lying in the Sand by Daniel Miller. Doc Green says it's required reading for every Texan. Lying in the Sand by Daniel Miller gives you the information you need to be prepared to give an answer to anyone that asks. As a Raging Elephants Radio listener, you are the go-to person for your friends.
RagingElephantRadio.com.
This book is more than a good read. It will equip you to reach others while pursuing a better future for your family. Get your copy now by clicking on the link on RagingElephantRadio.com.
RagingElephantRadio.com.
That's RagingElephantRadio.com. Since a portion of the proceeds goes to support Raging Elephants Radio, it may be time for you to cross that line in the sand.
That line in the sand. RagingElephantRadio.com.
Can you do it? The RER 2+2 Challenge. Howdy, rowdy Texans. It's me, E, the millennial voice of RER. I'm a big fan of RagingElephantRadio.com. More Texas voters should be listening to RER every day. A better, deeper knowledge of how Texas works will help Texas voters to make Texas more like Texas. The RER 2+2 Challenge. Listen to RER 2 hours a day, every day, for 2 weeks. You'll learn more about Texas politics in 2 weeks than you've ever known. Mark it on your daily calendar. Set your phone alarm. The RER 2+2 Challenge. 2 hours a day, every day, for 2 weeks. RagingElephantRadio.com. The rebellious voice of Texas liberty.
Get to know Texas politics. RagingElephantRadio.com.
I'm Claver, your favorite political flavor. Always giving it to you straight, no chaser. Later on in the program, Raging Elephants Radio contributor for transportation, Terry Hall of Texas Turf. First question I have to ask, Terry, are you a criminal? Because we're not supposed to congregate in groups of more than 10, and Terry's family is 12. That is the pressing question for me. Is she on the run? Is she on the lam? Where is she going to be calling us from? From some undisclosed location, some bunker somewhere, to keep from getting arrested by the Greg Abbott goons. Because her family is 12, and we're not supposed to congregate in groups of more than 10. The president, I've been hard on him. I've been hard on 45, I admit. I know that some of you Trumpkins have been mad at me because I've been hard on the president. First of all, for shutting down the economy, and number two, for not having the backs of Texans, because we are under attack. I'm going to stay on this until something is done about it. Texas is under attack by Russia. Russia. Yeah, we're under attack. Our energy producers are under attack. Oil is bouncing back and forth between $19 and $21 on the futures contracts. But the cash price for oil, you can get 42 gallons of oil, which is a barrel, on the cash spot market for $4. I heard a report today on the Business Network that there are some cash markets. Oil has gone negative. And I gave you the report yesterday. Maybe I should play it again. Let me find it and play it again. Let me see if I can find it. I think I should play it again. Here it is from yesterday.
Halima, is anybody talking sense to the Saudis and the Russians?
I think what's really interesting today is we got reports that President Trump was going to pick up the phone and actually phone Vladimir Putin. So much of the talk has been on what the U.S. can do to get the Saudis to basically cut production. But I really think the path to a production cut deal that could help save this market goes through Moscow. It was the Russians who said they weren't going to cut production at the last OPEC meeting. And I think they are absolutely essential to putting this whole OPEC plus arrangement back together. Again, so much emphasis has been on Saudi Arabia, but it's very interesting today that President Trump is phoning Moscow.
What's the president's leverage?
Well, I think the interesting question is, will the U.S. or will the White House want to give some sweeteners to Moscow in terms of sanctions relief? The U.S. has imposed sanctions on key Russian energy companies such as Rosneft. We've basically sanctioned the Nord Stream 2 pipeline project. And so the question is, will the president give some relief on sanctions to get the Russians to agree to cut production? I think that's a potential path to an early deal. No guarantees, but I don't think we get a big grand bargain unless Russia is willing to participate.
So the headline is that these two countries are engaged in a price war between each other. But yes. Are either of them the ultimate targets of this price war, or are our producers the ultimate targets?
That is a great question, because at the OPEC meeting where everything fell apart at the beginning of the month, it was really clear that the Russians were targeting U.S. production.
No, there you go. It was very clear that Russia was targeting U.S. production. In other words, Russia is targeting U.S. oil producers. Russia is targeting Texas. That's what's going on. They're targeting our shale producers. They're targeting our energy producers out in the Permian Basin. This is what I've been screaming from the top of the roof now for 3 weeks, since the oil crash, that they're targeting us. And I've been saying, President Trump, where are you? You need to have the backs of Texans. Now, the reports are that on Friday, energy CEOs, the big boys, are going to the White House in person. I guess they're, getting some sort of special pass to get, well, they have their own private planes. What am I talking about? They don't have to get on one of those commercial Greyhound buses that have wings on them, cattle cars that have wings. They can get on their private jets and go up to 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue and have teas and crumpet with President Trump and talk about an energy policy. That's what's being reported, that on Friday, the energy bigwigs, the big chieftains, are going to Pennsylvania Avenue to have a chit-chat with President Trump about energy policy. What do we do about these Russians? And I've been saying, President Trump, what are you going to do? When are you going to have the backs of Texans? Because Russians are specifically attacking us. And in the midst of all of this, Saudi Arabia has announced they are not going to shut down oil production. There's no place to put the oil. They're putting oil on super tankers now. There's no place to put the oil. They continue to crash the price of oil in the futures market, on the cash spot market, and it's crushing us. They're attacking us. Now, I didn't say military action against Russia. I didn't say President Trump dropped some Tomahawk cruise missiles into the lap of Putin. I didn't say that. But relief on economic sanctions, no. You're not going to blackmail us, and you're targeting Texans. What Trump should be doing is doubling and tripling down on the economic sanctions because you're messing with Texas. And I'm going to stay on this like a mad dog on red meat. We as Texans are under attack by the Ruskies. And where is President Trump? He's okay. He called up Putin. We don't know what he said. Maybe we should demand that he release the transcripts like he did the transcript for the Ukrainian president. We want to know what you told Putin. We want to know what you told Putin. Did you tell him to knock it off? Did you tell him to cut oil production and get prices back up? Did you tell him to stop endangering hundreds of thousands of Texans' jobs that are attached to the energy industry? Because we are under attack. During the 2016 campaign, you guys remember, President Trump, during the campaign, was over in Scotland to open up one of his great new golf clubs, and some reporter, it was during Brexit, this is pre-Brexit, it was during the Brexit election cycle, and some reporter asked him, well, what if Texas wanted to Texit? And President Trump said, Texas isn't going anywhere. You know what he said. Texas isn't going anywhere. Texas loves me. Well, dude, if you think Texas loves you, how come you don't have our back? You should be doubling, tripling, quadrupling down on Russian sanctions because Russia is attacking the economic engine of the United States, and that is Texas. I have told you that we are not energy independent. When President Trump goes on the stump, when campaign rallies kick up again, and they will, when they crank up again, and President Trump talks about us being energy independent, I don't want to see any of you Trumpkins applauding because it's a lie. It's not true. We are not energy independent. We use more oil on a daily basis than we produce. And if we were energy independent, it wouldn't matter what Saudi Arabia and Russia were doing. It wouldn't matter that they're having a urination contest and Texas is the one that's getting wet. It wouldn't matter. We are not energy independent. We are still part of the global energy market. And what happens in Russia, what happens in Saudi Arabia, what happens in other energy producing companies, what happens in Nigeria, what happens in Venezuela and other drilling countries, it impacts us. So we are not independent of the global market. So these big chieftains are supposed to go Friday and talk to President Trump about energy policy. What are we going to do about energy in the United States? Meanwhile, as I have been warning, this was going to have an impact on energy producers. Headline from the Wall Street Journal, Whiting Petroleum becomes first major shale bankruptcy as oil prices drop. Article says U.S. shale driller Whiting Petroleum Corp filed for bankruptcy protection on Wednesday, becoming the first sizable fracking company to succumb to the crash in oil prices. Whiting's bankruptcy filing comes as many U.S. oil drillers face pressure to meet hefty debt obligations they took out from banks and bondholders to make America into the world's largest oil and gas producer. A U.S. benchmark crude price dropped to their lowest levels in nearly 2 decades. It was the worst quarter for the stock market, worst quarter for oil in the history of the country. January to yesterday, the worst ever. And it's all because of Russia. It's all because of Saudi Arabia, but primarily Russia. And they're attacking us. And now this company, Whiting, is not based in Texas. They're based out of Denver, but there's Texas companies that are in trouble. EP Energy is in trouble. What's the other one? Where's the other company that is having problems? Sanchez is having problems. They were already in bankruptcy, trying to get out of bankruptcy, and they can't do it. EP Energy and its $5 billion debt pile are adrift in bankruptcy. Sanchez Energy, bankruptcy lenders strike deal to take over company, source the Wall Street Journal. Those are two companies, Sanchez and EP, based right here in H-Town. Trying to get out of problems, can't get out of problems because of the crude oil crash. Caused by who? Russia. And we need retaliation. And so I hope when those chieftains head to 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue on Friday and have a little chit-chat with 45, they let him know we want retaliation. I want retaliation. I want payback. I want payback for Russia specifically attacking us. It's no secret. You just heard the reporter right there on CNBC say, no, it's not a secret. Their target is American energy producers. Who's the number one energy producer in the world? Texas. The Permian. The fracking companies, the shale fracking companies here in the Lone Star State. We're number one. They don't like it. Russia's trying to get tricky. Russia's attacking us. And I am demanding that President Trump retaliates. I want payback. You are endangering the livelihoods of hundreds of thousands of Texans whose jobs are connected to Texas tea. And they're doing it on purpose. When you've got cash spot prices of oil that's less than a Happy Meal in cost, you've got problems. When a beer costs more than a barrel of oil on the cash spot market, you got problems, and Russia is the cause of it. And on top of the coronavirus panic, oh no, I want retaliation.
What's up, Saints and Patriots? I'm Apostle Claver, a proud Texas nationalist, and I'm here to tell you about Texit. For 25 years, Daniel Miller has been working to see the rebirth of the Republic of Texas. His work has been hard, but his passion is deep. For many Texans, there is a deep yearning, a burning to see the prophecy of Sam Houston come true. But the desire of their hearts comes with many questions. Texit has the answer. It's the new book from Daniel Miller and Defiance Press. Texit, Why and How Texas Will Leave the Union. Texit charts the path to Texas independence. This riveting book of facts and philosophy will soothe your anxiety about the coming change and build your confidence that Texans can get it done. You'll want to buy several copies for your family and friends. Like I've said about this governmental mess, the only way out is out. And the best part of Texit, I'm in it. Texit, Why and How Texas Will Leave the Union. It's selling like hotcakes. Buy it on RagingElePhantsRadio.com. Texas Specialties is in a little town of 1,000, Three Rivers, Texas. Texas Specialties is a small family business in a town where treating people right is a way of life. The Stubbs family's Texas Specialties started out doing high-quality t-shirts for Texas music scene bands at affordable prices. Everything, the design, the artwork, the printing, accepting minimum orders, even selling t-shirts for the bands online. And now they bring that experience to you anywhere in Texas. Texas Specialties can do the same for any small business, for teachers, for schools, dance classes, athletic teams, clubs, and anyone needing good quality screen printing at an affordable price. The Stubbs family loves to work with ideas and the people who have them. Your experience with Texas Specialties will be excellent. Anything less just will not do. Call 361-784-2052, 361-784-2052. Click Texas Specialties. Ad on RagingElePhantsRadio.com. The happiest happy hour on the H-Town West Side. Introducing the Texas Tea Tavern. Texas Tea. The longest happy hour. 12 noon to 7 p.m. Monday through Saturday. $3.75 domestic drafts. $8 domestic pitchers. $4 wells. $5 grapies for the ladies. Texas Tea. Texas Tea is the West Side after work chill out place. They have this massive door that opens up to a relaxed lawn and patio. Day or night, this time of year, it's marvelous for sipping in convo. Texas Tea. Video poker tournaments all through the week. Tuesday, Texas Trivia. Wednesday, Bring Your Axe. It's open jam night. Live music every Saturday night on the huge stage. Karaoke Sunday nights. Texas Tea. Mudbugs could be boiling in the outdoor kitchen. If you're hungry, the classy food cart on the newly paved parking lot serves $3 tacos that are big as your head. Texas Tea. A safe place for ladies to venture solo. Open every night until 2 a.m. Texas Tea. Easy to find. 1535 Brickmore, a stone's throw from City Center. You may see me there. Get more info, click the ad on RagingElephantRadio.com.
Here's how to use the RER app on your commute and get the latest Liberty 411. First, download the RER app on your smart device, phone or tablet, Apple or Android. Search Raging Elephants Radio in your App Store or Google Play and hit the search button on your keyboard. Connect your device to your car audio system. Do it via Bluetooth or auxiliary jack. You riding old school? Stick in some quality earbuds and enjoy the serious HD stereo. No excuses. It's here. RER app.
Take us wherever you go. Raging Elephants Radio, streaming on your computer, tablet, and smartphone.
Just having fun talking Texas Liberty 411. In a few minutes, Terry Hall of Texas Turf. When it comes to transportation liberty, Terry Hall is the foremost expert here in the Lone Star State, and she's a Raging Elephants Radio contributor. We miss Terry. It's going to be great having her back. No, man, I'm serious. If we were our own independent country, would Russia be messing with Texas? Because if you mess with Texas, we will mess you up. That is if we would have a president that, had some guts, that truly was a Texan and not a Taino, Texan in name only, which is going to be very important. Who's going to be our, I guess you'd say, fifth president of the Republic when we do go independent once again? But as an independent sovereign republic, I don't think Russia would be messing with us. Russia knows better. Russia knows better. Speaking of having fun, I got to do it. We need some levity. I got to play the best video during this whole panic. The best video has been Ginger Billy, because I truly believe he has the key to beating the coronavirus panic. I really do. And we're having fun talking Texas Liberty 411. Let's give it up for Ginger Billy.
Hello, America. So I don't know if y'all seen it, but that coronavirus is spreading all over the world. At first it was in China, then it went to South Korea, then it went to Italy, and now it's done somehow hopped on an airplane and flew over here to America. So right now I'm going to show everybody how you can properly prepare yourselves so that you will not get the coronavirus. Now I know the professionals are saying, all you need to do is wash your hands and make sure you don't put your hands near your face or your mouth. Oh, really? How is that going to stop one of them coronavirus zombies from walking up to me, coughing in my face, that coronavirus going in my mouth, down my trachea, and into my lungs? It can't. That's why you need to don the proper protective gear so that you will not get the coronavirus. Now, as you can tell, I am wearing a coronavirus-proof suit with a clear message on it that says, stay back 10 feet. And that goes for everybody, all right? Everybody, my grandma, my mama, everybody. I don't know who's got the coronavirus. And that's also why this is very important. This here is my corona stick. When somebody starts walking up to me, I will stick the stick out like this. And once they touch the tip of the stick, that's as close as they can get right there. Because that right there gives me enough distance to where if they cough, their coronavirus droplets will not make it into my mouth. Now, if they keep trying to walk, that's when you need to take back. You need to get back. That way they'll know you ain't playing no games, all right? I will beat you with this stick if you keep trying to walk toward me, okay? My personal health is at jeopardy. You don't get near me. You stay back. Now, I also got my gloves here. Now, I don't wear no rubber gloves, all right? Them jerseys can't get through no leather. That's why you need to wear leather gloves. Now, this here is my most important part of my whole coronavirus suit. This is my ventilatory system. Now, a lot of people think that you can just wear one of them regular old surgical masks, but that don't work. Them coronavirus droplets are small, and they can get straight through them masks. But you know what the coronavirus can't get through? Plastic. And it can't get through my ventilatory system right here either. See that right there? That's bounty paper towel rolls. Nothing can make it through a bounty paper towel roll without getting caught. Now, I've also got my disinfectant spray on each side of my ventilatory system. That way, if I'm walking along and somebody walks up towards me and they start coughing, I can spray my disinfectant in there and kill all them droplets before they get anywhere near me. Now, as you can tell, I've also got my disinfectant sprays in my holsters here. It is very important that you always have enough disinfectant spray, and you might not always be able to get to the ones at the top of your helmet. So you need to practice with these disinfectant sprays to make sure you as quick as wide earth pulling them things out your holsters. Let's say I'm walking through the grocery store and somebody sneezes. And that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is how you keep yourself safe from the coronavirus. God bless y'all. I love you.
See that right there. If everybody had a Ginger Billy coronavirus ventilation system, we'd be okay. We'd have no problems whatsoever. The thing that I'm really concerned about, I mean, I've been single most of my life. I'm not single anymore. Sorry, ladies. You had a shot and you missed it. Oh, Barbara scooped me up like, you know, a meat deal at HEB. I mean, she scooped me up. But no, Barbara went after me like filet mignon on sale. I'm just saying. But y'all missed y'all shot. But I feel sorry for the brothers out there. The single men out there, I feel sorry for y'all. I really do. Because with all this social distancing, that's a hard word for me to pronounce, distancing, social distancing, you can't deliver your pickup lines. How you gonna pick a chick up, man, when she's across the street? You gotta use a megaphone. You gotta use a bullhorn. Girl, you sure looking good. You looking good over there. Can I get them digits? How do you post up somebody from 100 yards away? My brothers, I feel for y'all. I really do. If you're single, I feel for you. How are you gonna? Oh, that's what you know what? When I get off the program today, I need to check and see what the stock price is for Match.com. I really do. I want to know what the video online dating sites, what their stocks are doing. I gotta, you know, this isn't the time to be stock picking. The market still has some more downward trajectory to go here. I wouldn't be surprised if the S&P hit 1700. I'd give you reasons for that probably later if I have the time. But right now, meeting somebody, all of you single guys out there, I feel for you. I really do. I mean, you can't. And all of you ladies out there, what's the point in wasting money on makeup? What's the point of even putting any makeup on? What's the point on painting on your dress and skin-tight jeans? No man can post you up. That is not sexy. Across a an empty parking lot with a megaphone, trying to get the digits on a babe. How do you do it? That's the worst thing about this whole social distancing thing. You can't get your pickup lines going. I mean, you can't have a date. You can't take a babe to a movie. You can't take her out for cocktails. You can't. I mean, this is awful. This, you know, and the rent is due. It's April 1st and the rent is due. The rent is due. You're single. You know, your social life has been reduced to taking the dog for a walk. You can't even take your dog to the dog park because you may violate the social distancing rules. You may get arrested. Your dog is too close to my dog or something. I mean, please. Can we get back to normality? Can we just re-crank up the economy? For the sake of single men out there, can the bars, please? I mean, we had no St. Patrick's Day. We know that St. Patrick's Day is one of the best days of the year to get the digits on a woman. You can get the digits. You may get a girlfriend on St. Patrick's Day. Give them enough green beer, you may get a girlfriend. That was totally blown in 2020. Totally blown. I feel sorry for the brothers. I really do. I feel sorry for the brothers. I can't relate as far as the sisters go, you know. But the brothers, I feel for you. I really do. I don't know what to tell you.
Automobile aficionado Apostle Claver here. Let me introduce you to my mechanic, an ASC certified mechanic, Andre at America's Repair in Houston. Now, you guys know I'm a former fully sponsored race car driver and I own a high performance auto. You bet I'm particular about who even touches my car. I go to America's Repair to get all my auto work done, and you should too. Andre has served Spring Branch and all of Houston for over 20 years. America's Repair will match or beat any competitor's price. All repairs come with a 1-year, 12,000-mile warranty. America's Repair is a complete car care and repair center. State inspection, muffler and exhaust work, wheel alignment, brake work, tune-ups, engine transmission work, auto body and paint. Great deals on oil change and AC checkup. America's Repair accepts all extended warranties. 2005 North Gessner, 1 mile north of Memorial City Mall in the Katy. Wednesday is senior citizen discounts. Thursday, active military discount. Call 713-467-2001. 713-467-2001. AmericasRepair.com. Or click the ad on RagingElePhantsRadio.com.
Hey guys, spring is just around the corner and it's time to check out your air conditioning system. Call Galen Beatty with Beatty AC and Heat, 281-222-9591. And mention this commercial and you can save $15 off your next checkout. Galen Beatty is my AC guy and he needs to be your AC guy too. No one does it better than he does. This family-owned business is the best in Houston. And even if you're out of town, if you need to replace your entire heating and AC system, Galen Beatty is going to be your best bet. He'll check everything from your thermostats to your air handler to make sure that you're getting the most efficient system ever. Nobody does it like Galen Beatty, and the price is always right. So be sure to mention this commercial and save an extra $15 today. That's Galen Beatty with BeattyACandHeat.com. BEEE ACandHeat.com. 281-222-9591. 281-222-9591. Call him today.
Green Air Technology will sanitize, sterilize, and defunkifies your home. Our treatment utilizes a high-output biocleaner to eradicate bacteria, germs, and airborne pathogens and allergens in any home, vehicle, or facility. So if your facility or home smells funky like a bow-legged monkey, call Green Air Technologies. We are dedicated to eliminating odor and airborne contaminants at home, at work, or even in your vehicle.
Now featuring Biosphere.
Call Jim Green at 346-254-9217 or go to greenairtech.com. 346-254-9217 or go to greenairtech.com.
What's up, Saints and Patriots? I'm Apostle Claver, a proud Texas nationalist, and I'm here to tell you about Texit. For 25 years, Daniel Miller has been working to see the rebirth of the Republic of Texas. His work has been hard, but his passion is deep. For many Texans, there is a deep yearning, a burning to see the prophecy of Sam Houston come true. But the desire of their hearts comes with many questions. Texit has the answer. It's the new book from Daniel Miller and Defiance Press. Texit, Why and How Texas Will Leave the Union. Texit charts the path to Texas independence. This riveting book of facts and philosophy will soothe your anxiety about the coming change and build your confidence that Texans can get it done. You'll want to buy several copies for your family and friends. Like I've said about this governmental mess, the only way out is out. And the best part of Texit, I'm in it. Texit, Why and How Texas Will Leave the Union. It's selling like hotcakes. Buy it on RagingElePhantsRadio.com.
Hey, Barry the Music Man here for Tejas Smoke Depot. They have everything you need when it comes to smoke. Check out the 150 square foot walk-in humidor filled with a huge selection of fine cigars. Or give them a call at 830-990-1472 and order up what you want. Maybe you like to roll your own. They have it. Maybe you need a gift for a smoker in the family. How about a new pipe? They have a large selection, even a cross-section of great beers in stock. In a hurry, come by and use the drive-thru. Located at 1639 West Highway 290 in Fredericksburg, Texas. Out of town? Visit them at the website, TejasSmokeDepot.com, or call 830-990-1472. That's 830-990-1472. It's smoking.
Can you do it? The RER 2+2 Challenge. Howdy, rowdy Texans. It's me, E, the millennial voice of RER. I'm a big fan of RagingElePhantsRadio.com. More Texas voters should be listening to RER every day. A better, deeper knowledge of how Texas works will help Texas voters to make Texas more like Texas. The RER 2+2 Challenge. Listen to RER 2 hours a day, every day, for 2 weeks. You'll learn more about Texas politics in 2 weeks than you've ever known. Mark it on your daily calendar. Set your phone alarm. The RER 2+2 Challenge. 2 hours a day, every day, for 2 weeks. RagingElePhantsRadio.com. The rebellious voice of Texas liberty.
Want to wipe out some of that bag?
You're enjoying Apostle Claver T. Kamau-Imani on RagingElePhantsRadio.com.
Well, all right. Well, that was... Well, that's not exactly how Matthew McConaughey does it. Well, all right. Well, we're having fun talking Texas Liberty 411. Nobody panic out there. I told everybody that I was going to be the anti-pan-panic talk show host, and I am. 2 things I am demanding. Turn the economy back on, and I want retribution. I want retaliation on Russia for attacking Texas and our energy producers. I do. That's what I want. And I've got Terry Hall, Raging Elephants Radio contributor, on the line. It's been so long, Terry, from Texas Turf. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm fine. I've got no COVID-19. I have no sniffles. I have no fever. I have nothing. I'm fine. How are you?
Very good. Let's hope it stays that way for you and your listeners and really all Texans, right? Everybody.
Yeah, but the thing is, I told everyone 2 weeks ago, I said, when I have Terry Hall on, the first question I must ask is your family on the run? Are y'all in hiding? Because from what I understand, you guys are illegal because you cannot congregate. We have been ordered by Governor King Gregory, we cannot congregate in groups of more than 10, and your family is 12. So I've been suggesting to the Raging Elephants Radio audience that your husband has to take 5 kids and go somewhere, and you have to take 5 kids and go somewhere in order to keep you guys from getting arrested. So what's the situation?
Well, thankfully, 2 adults, actually it was 3 adults had moved out, right? They're on their own. They have their own apartment. But our college student had to come back home because, as you know, they've shut down all institutions of higher learning because of the risk of spreading the virus. So I have 1 back home and 2 still out, so that still makes 10.
So you're barely legal, Terry. You're
barely legal.
You're barely legal. You don't have to go into a bunker as of yet. I was worried about you, Terry. I really was. I was like,
I'm telling you, but obviously they're going to have to. It's absurd. It just shows how absurd this random selection of 10 people becomes. What if your family's literally bigger than that? This is my nuclear family. This is not my extended family. This is not, grandma's aunts, uncles, and cousins. This is just my children. And I'm certainly not going to go ship them off somewhere because of some virus scare. We have to live together as a family. So we have had a lot of people question us in public, though, I'll tell you that.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Whenever we're out together, they said, oh, social distancing, you're violating. I'm going to call the cops on you. Really?
You're joking. You're joking.
No, I am not joking. We just had it happen Sunday.
What?
I am not joking. This is in Texas. We have now turned citizen against citizen, where they love to look for this and rat their neighbors out because you have 10 people or more together.
And how do you respond, Terry? Do you tell them, these are my children, this is my family?
Yes, I do. I do. I'm like, it's kind of like, take a look at their faces. They really do resemble us.
How long does it take for the complainant to get their jaw up off the asphalt?
I know. Usually takes a little while, but it's that way even when we're not having COVID. We pretty much shock the world no matter where we go. We're kind of used to it, so it's really not that big a deal to us anymore.
Well, they should be stopping you because the children are so cute. All the children, they're so
you're sweet.
cute. They're the cutest. The babies are so cute. Ugh. But you that's what I've been telling. As soon as I heard this directive, these executive orders, the first person came to mind was Terry Hall. I'm like, what is she gonna do? She's got 10 kids by herself. It's a family of 12. What is she gonna do? I mean, what are they gonna do? Come and bust y'all up?
Exactly. I know. That's how absurd it is, but that's the times we live in, apparently.
Well,
as you know, we have a huge concern when it comes to the policy side of this, when it comes to tolling, collecting tolls, and potentially levying criminal penalties against drivers at a time when we are in a state of emergency.
Okay, but the first thing is I want to get your general macro 30,000-foot view. Is this an overreaction? Because to me, this whole thing is an overreaction, shutting down the economy, endangering the livelihoods of Texans and Americans generally. I think it's an absolute overreaction. This, like President Trump tweeted last week, is the medicine worse than the disease? It's shutting down the U.S. economy like we've seen in all the potential bailouts, including municipalities, counties, and states. Is this really necessary? And I say no. And I think this is going to cause... The knock-on effect has begun, and the reason that I have you on is because transportation tyranny can still reign, and that's one of the things I wanted to talk to you about, and I know you want to get to it. At least here in Harris County, the big signs says the tolls have been waived here in Harris County, but I'm not sure that's a uniform policy across the state. What are we seeing across Texas when it comes to transportation during this panic? Terry Hall.
Well, all I'm aware of is Harris County is the only one so far that has waived collecting of tolls at this time. And that's a problem. As you know, we have a patchwork quilt system because we have all these little mini tech dots, these little toll authorities that these localities control. And ultimately, they're on the state highway system. So that's why we're pleading with Governor Abbott to put a stop to this. And I'll tell you why. I do think to an extent, I get that this could be a massive wipeout of lots of Americans over a spread of a virus like this, and what it's doing to people's lungs is very serious, and obviously it can cause death in those that are vulnerable, and sometimes those that are perfectly healthy are falling to this. So I get the health crisis side of this, but I don't see the numbers where this is much different than the H1N1 and the swine flu that came through and had massive numbers. And we never even put a travel ban in place, much less shut down our entire economy. Nobody wants to see our fellow man die of any illness, whether it's cancer, heart attack, or this random virus that's hit our country. But at the end of the day, I don't know that we will be able to get our economy back if this goes on much longer. I don't even see it coming back after April 30th. I really don't. You cannot take all of these small businesses, which are the backbone of our country, and just flip a switch like it's a light switch and suddenly turn it all back on and it's all good again. That's not the way this works. And even though they can't evict people from their homes right now, they're still going to be owing money to those landlords. And as soon as they lift the ban, they're going to evict people. If you can't pay up, it's the same problem with an unpaid toll bill, is it not? You're being told you cannot go to work. You may not leave your house to earn money, and yet you're going to still owe a bill that you potentially now can't pay. And we all know what happens when you can't pay your toll bill in this state. Eventually, it tacks on so many thousands of dollars in fines and fees, and you become a habitual toll violator, and they block your vehicle registration, they impound your car. Now you can't get to work ever because now you've got a lien on your car. Most people owe money on their car. And so who's going to lend you money for a new car when you have a lien on your old car and you're, owing money to everybody and Uncle Sam to ever get your car back and your name cleared? And I don't know if you remember this, back in 2017, we actually prevailed upon the governor. I had to literally kick this up all the way to the governor because I get calls all the time from single moms or just people that are in distress over their toll bills. It's gotten out of control. They don't know what to do. They're going to, not be able to make their rent. They're going to be out on their ear with their kids and their single parents, whatever. And sometimes the cases are so bad, I do help intervene on their behalf. And that doesn't mean everyone around the state call me, please don't, because I really don't have the time to do this. But at the end of the day, this one gal who lived outside Austin and had to take the State Highway 130 toll road to and from work because of a health condition. She couldn't sit in the traffic because of her leg. But she was a healthcare worker, worked in that industry, and they were threatening to block her vehicle registration. And what that means is you're now a criminal. It's like, I believe it's like a Class C misdemeanor. And when they criminalize you, that means healthcare workers can't go to work. Many truckers are in the same boat. If they have any kind of criminal record, they are barred from working. At a time when we are in a state of emergency and in a crisis and having all of these things happen that we're seeing around us, this is not the time to keep healthcare workers and truckers from getting to the people that need them. And whether it's bringing vital supplies and food, or if it's getting the workers to the hospitals and places where we need them. And so we've been asking Governor Abbott, please put a stay on further criminal penalties and piling on fines and fees on people's toll bills at a time when they are being told they can't go to work and earn the money they need to pay it. I mean, to me, this is like not rocket science. It is the most common sense thing you could ask for. And we've had nothing but crickets over at the governor's office. And I frankly don't understand it, because I don't feel like we're asking for the moon here. Hector has already done it. Harris County's already done it. So why aren't we making this a blanket policy across the state, especially since we have so much trucking coming in from outside the state, and they don't know which counties they have this policy in place. We need to have it be a statewide policy. It's the state highway system. People have to travel between cities, particularly truckers. And some people live outside city limits or go from one county to another to go to work, especially when they live on a border. So at the end of the day, we feel like we need to prevail upon Governor Abbott right now. And people can call the governor's office and leave a message on his opinion line and politely ask him that and say, we should not be collecting tolls or adding fines and fees or criminalizing drivers at a time when they're being told they cannot go to work.
He's flexing he's flexing his muscle with executive orders in other areas.
Right, exactly.
When it comes to travel, he said, hey, if you're coming in from Louisiana, I don't know how he's going to enforce it. 14-day quarantine if you cross the Sabine River from Louisiana. I guess you're just going to shut down I-30, I-20, and I-10. I don't know how he's going to do it, but he's basically said anybody from Louisiana can't come into Texas if you want the short version of it. I don't know how he's going to enforce it, but it's going to impact, once again, interstate commerce. It's going to impact the pocketbooks of Texans, and in some cases, people that I know that commute back and forth from Texas to Louisiana for work, Terry.
Absolutely. I know, because there are people that do cross-border travel for work. And again, if you're not an essential worker, you're out of luck no matter what in this situation. But to me, the things that are very similar to what Abbott's already done with the executive order and or the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court says you can't evict anybody right now, and you can't make them homeless when they are being barred from going to work. So we get that, right? Makes sense.
Right.
Then you have the governor who said that we're going to not force people to go in and have all these social distancing issues with going in to renew your driver's license or renew your vehicle registration, because those are sort of mundane, normal government things that you do. But right now is not the time for you to go into an office with a bunch of people and spread germs and do that. So he suspended that and made it basically automatic renewals. No one's going to be penalized for not renewing their driver's license in person or their vehicle registration in person. So why then would we not see an executive order from the governor that bars them from enacting criminal penalties on somebody for an unpaid toll bill when they're being told they cannot go to work?
And we applaud him. I applauded him. He's not my favorite guy. He's my least favorite, probably. Well, he's one of my least favorites in all of Texas, in the elected class here in Texas. But he flexed executive order muscle when it came to the elective surgery of abortion. And he and Ken Paxton are going to the mat on that. They're willing to go to court on that. Why won't he flex his muscle and exercise an executive order when it comes to transportation liberty? And you're right. The citizens of Texas should be calling him, should be blowing up his phone lines, should be blowing up his email server. If you still got a fax machine, use that and tell him, shut down the toll roads, waive the tolls. I've got to give HCTRA, Harris County Toll Road Authority, I got to, don't like them, but I got to give them a thumbs up because they waived tolls. The first thing was they said, okay, you have to have an easy tag. We're not going to have any money exchange at the toll booths. You've got to have an easy tag in order to get on the toll roads, which we don't like. The government has access to your bank accounts. We don't like that. But then at least they went ahead and did the right thing, the rational thing, the liberty thing, and said, okay, we're waiving tolls as long as this crisis is going on. It needs to be uniformed, and Greg Abbott should be able to see that plainly and issue the executive order. Terry Hall.
Well, that's absolutely the case, and I can't even begin to tell you that this, and I think that's honestly the reason why Harris County is the only one that's done that, right? Because you guys have actual manned booths. And so all these other are electronic now. They're all electronic tolling. So that's probably why they are still collecting tolls. So that's the only reason why Harris County realized, we have a problem where we have these people exchanging money and touching each other and all of that. We could potentially spread the virus to our workers. And so that's why they're suspending it. But again, they definitely want you to have a toll tag. I mean, hey, when you're resolving a toll bill, with toll fines and fees, and you have issues with your payment card, it expires, you end up with all these fines and fees that are tacked on and such. I can't even begin to tell you how many times this becomes a huge problem for people. One, they don't even have to set up a payment plan for you, but one of the things they'll do is they'll say the only way that they will reduce your fees or fines is if you agree to sign up for a toll tag, because they don't want any cash payers. They literally want to force you into their system. Of government monitoring ultimately is what that allows. It opens you up to that, being vulnerable to that, as well as them having access to your bank account.
So, Terry, you've got people from across the state calling you to intervene on their behalf because of this. Are you seeing a ramping up? Are you seeing a spike in these problems because of the coronavirus crisis? Is there a spike in those that are calling to intervene and say, hey, look, what do I do about this?
I wouldn't say that I'm seeing a spike directly to me, but that doesn't mean it's not happening, because people may not be able to find me necessarily either. I suspect it is because if everyone's being told they can't go to work, you already know when we have 2 million Texans already put into collections by TxDOT alone over unpaid toll bills, I can tell you that this is a huge problem. I don't need someone to call me personally on the phone to know that this is a massive problem. So when TxDOT only operates, I think 3 or 4 toll projects, and most of them are in Austin, and they have 2 million people in collections, and Austin doesn't even have 2 million people, then we have a massive problem, and it is statewide. And that's why we're trying to prevail upon the governor to do the right thing here and waive this problem during the state of emergency. And after that, we'll deal with whatever happens after that. As you know, we've been trying to make reforms happen at the legislative level now for multiple sessions. And of course, it falls on deaf ears. Now, I wouldn't say so in the House necessarily back in 2017, but it sure did in 2019. I mean, we didn't even get a hearing on our toll collection bill, which would give all kinds of reforms and decriminalize this, because just like we repealed the driver responsibility program because it gets people in a cycle of unpayable debt and takes away their vehicle and their ability to legally drive, which basically defeats the purpose of you actually, getting your toll bill paid. It's the same thing as the driver responsibility program. It took us multiple sessions to get that repealed as well. And so where's the help from our legislators? Where's the help from our governor to put a stop to this?
Okay, look, Terry,
that's what we need.
That's a good segue. I got to take a short break and come back, and that's what I want to talk about: legislative action to attack this. Terry Hall is a Raging Elephants.
Can I give the number real quick to the governor's office?
Yeah, go right ahead.
It is 512-463-2000. 512-463-2000. And I encourage you, it's literally, you can leave a message on his opinion line and politely ask the governor to stop the collection of tolls and the imposition of criminal fines and penalties on Texas drivers during this state of emergency.
Okay, so we're going to come back and we're going to talk about what we can do about transportation liberty going forward to 2021. Hold on one second. Terry Hall is with us. She's the Raging Elephants Radio contributor dealing with transportation liberty in the Lone Star State. Don't cut the stream, because if you're not listening, you're not learning. More to talk with Terry Hall in a moment.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
One of the premier property management companies in Texas, providing below market rates with above market amenities and service. Hartman has owned and operated commercial office properties since 1983, offering premium office space at an affordable price by saving businesses a significant amount of money by keeping taxes, utilities, and maintenance low. With over 30 years in commercial leasing in Houston, San Antonio, and Dallas, we have learned exactly what our customers require.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
Managed on Christian principles with a strong dedication to community benevolence. Whether you need 1,000 or 10,000 square foot of office space, Hartman has that space in one of nearly 50 Texas locations.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
Energy efficient buildings, customer friendly experts, supporters of conservative causes. A Texas owned and operated business for 30 years. A proud corporate sponsor of RagingElePhantsRadio.com.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
Visit Hartman online, hi-REIT.com. Call 800-880-2212 or click the ad on RagingElePhantsRadio.com.
Hey, Barry the Music Man here for Tejas Smoke Depot. They have everything you need when it comes to smoke. Check out the 150 square foot walk-in humidor filled with a huge selection of fine cigars, or give them a call at 830-990-1472 and order up what you want. Maybe you like to roll your own. They have it. Maybe you need a gift for a smoker in the family. How about a new pipe? They have a large selection, even a cross-section of great beers in stock. In a hurry, come by and use the drive-thru. Located at 1639 West Highway 290 in Fredericksburg, Texas. Out of town? Visit them at the website, TejasSmokeDepot.com, or call 830-990-1472. That's 830-990-1472. It's smoking.
What would happen if one day Washington, D.C. decided that the Texas Tea Party had gone too far? What if Texans really stood up for their constitutional rights? Ripped from today's headlines, a novel that explores that premise. Could it really happen? This is a thriller in the mode of Tom Clancy and Joel Rosenberg. Author David Thomas Roberts explores a scenario that will have you on the edge of your seat from start to finish. Find out why readers use phrases like, "I couldn't put it down," riveting, "a little too real." Can Texas Ranger Pops Younger save the day? You will only know when you read Patriots of Treason. You'll want to add this book to your collection, and to save time and aggravation, just order the sequel, State of Treason, along with it. You'll be glad you did. Click on the banner ad at the top of the page. RagingElePhantsRadio.com. RagingElePhantsRadio.com.
Hey, this is Claver. I want to take a few seconds to give you some words of encouragement. Go after the dream. Some of you have embraced the dream of having your own talk show. Congratulations. You've got a lot to say, and you have the confidence to believe you can do a great job. You should start on RagingElePhantsRadio.com. Purchasing your own block time is cheap. Yeah, a lot cheaper than your local terrestrial station for sure. And we don't leave you to sink or swim. Consultation on how to get up and running is part of our service to you as an RER independent producer. Shoot me an email, info@RagingElePhantsRadio.com. info@RagingElePhantsRadio.com. I'll send you a full media kit. Launch that dream right now with RagingElePhantsRadio.com.
Information, communication, action. RagingElePhantsRadio.com.
And don't forget, Saints and Patriots, right after me, it's going to be the amazing Doc Green, the original Liberty Shock Jock. Always has an excellent program for you, chock full of information, liberty-driven, of course. Our compasses here at RER are pointed in the correct direction, pointed towards liberty, 24/7, 365. This is a unique digital media company where we focus on the most blessed land God ever created, Texas. Terry Hall is with us. She's from Texas Turf and based out of San Antonio. She focuses on transportation issue, eminent domain issue, and civil asset forfeiture issues. And I find it absolutely tyrannical, Terry, and greedy that in the midst of the coronavirus, I'm imitating Ginger Billy, the video comedian, coroner virus, that these toll road authorities refuse to relinquish their revenue in this time of crisis, and they're still charging folks to travel on Texas roads, can't say freeways, Texas roads. And we are still having issues with the Texas Ledge in stopping the autopilot of, 400 plus toll road projects that are scheduled to be produced in the next few years here in Texas on autopilot. And you have a good working relationship with Governor Abbott. That's what my understanding has been in having conversations with you over the years, that you have a good relationship with him, that he was going to tackle. He ran on tackling transportation issues here in the Lone Star State. You've had some semblance of success. You've had greater success in getting language inserted into the platform dealing with transportation tyranny. But when it gets to the Pink Dome, the success rate drops to essentially zero in some cases. What's the plan for January 2021? We've got budgetary issues we got to deal with, redistricting that we're going to have to deal with. I think we're going to have revenue shortfalls because of the coronavirus shutdown.
And that includes transportation revenue shortfalls. As you know, it would have been Prop 1 in 2014. If you remember, the Texas voters went and decided to take some of that oil and gas severance tax money that also goes to capitalize our rainy day fund, and have a portion of that over a certain amount go into the state highway fund to help fund roads. So we're in a world of hurt on the transportation front next session as well, because as we all know, this oil showdown between the Saudis and the Russians has literally cratered the price of oil. And I think just our economy the way it is right now anyway, with the coronavirus and shutting down everything, that no matter what, we would have a tank in our oil prices eventually. But that's going to affect our ability to continue to fund what's called the Unified Transportation Plan. That is TxDOT's 10-year plan. And they already have certain projects scheduled out for the next 10 years. And it's not 400 toll projects, but there's probably about 400 miles of toll projects that they ultimately would love to build out. Some of those we've stopped. Some are still kind of in limbo. As you know, one of the things we also did a couple of weeks before this coronavirus thing broke loose was support the governor, and we did a huge coalition letter across the state because the Governor Abbott, finally, his Transportation Commission is putting I-35 through Austin in the UTP, which is the 10-year plan for TxDOT, non-toll. Finally, after fighting about that road project, is it going to be tolled? Is it not? Is it going to be a public toll road? Is it going to be a private toll road? Oh, Centra wants that road. As you remember, there was a huge lobby group that got funded last year, I believe in part with Centra money. I can't prove it because no one can know how this lobby group was funded, because it's considered private information. But at the end of the day, that's who would have benefited from a public-private partnership type privatized toll road regime on I-35 through Austin is Centra. I don't know if you know this. Centra has pretty well weaseled its way onto the board of the Texas Association of Business, and now TAB has formed yet another new little transportation group out there that's lobbying called Keep Texas Moving, where they're now lobbying the governor against putting I-35 in the long-range, or well, I should say the 10-year plan, as non-toll, and to wait till next session so that they can go get another public-private partnership bill authorized so that they can turn I-35 through Austin into another Central project, a privatized toll road. And let's remember, folks, what are the toll rates when they privatize these roadways? In Tarrant County, today, in peak hours, it will cost you in excess of $3 a mile to take Cintra's privatized toll lanes on Interstate 820 and the North Tarrant Express.
Wow. $3 a mile.
That's right. And it only goes up from there, right? I mean, these never go down and they never go away. As you know, we've also had a bill for at least the last 4 or 5 sessions to remove the toll from the road when the debt's paid. Because right now we have perpetual tolling and we have system financing, which allows them to keep that toll in place forever on a road that's paid for so that they can go use it to use that revenue to borrow against to extend out the toll system someplace else where those same drivers may never use that road. So it's Robin Hood for roads is what we're seeing. And when they keep the toll in place and have no accountability and nothing forces them to take that toll down, then you really have a bunch of monkey business going on with your revenues because nobody can track the revenues anymore. Once you don't have an audit that shows where the toll revenue is going to pay this bond debt down, and that's sort of a way to kind of put together your money trail, it's Katie bar the door. And just like the former Harris County judge Ed Emmett used to say, we can use it on anything we want. It's a slush fund to balance the budget or, get all kinds of pet projects and slush fund type things done for different commissioners around Harris County. And that's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to just turn it into a little ATM machine to bail out big government. And we're really in a really strange place in our state when we are criminalizing people for trying to get to work like we're doing with this toll regime. And we're criminalizing people for leaving their house or having gatherings over 10 people, because that's what this new executive order from Abbott was this week. The only difference from what was already in place is that now cops can stop you, fine you $1,000 a violation if they want, and put you in jail up to 6 months for simply leaving somewhere where they think it's a non-essential trip and you believe it's essential. But, if it's not on some list that says it's essential, then you are now a criminal. And yet we're letting criminals out of our jails because we're afraid of them getting coronavirus. And yet we're criminalizing people for not going to the grocery store, but maybe it's to the dry cleaners. And it's unbelievable to me what is going on in our state. And of course, you saw what the abortion mills are trying to do.
Right, exactly.
By trying to stay open. So we've got to kill babies. We've got to still kill babies.
That's an essential service.
But we're not going to let the church go bring grandma some food.
That's an essential service.
It's not essential. It's not a service. It's not a paid service.
Genocide is an essential service. It is not an elective surgical procedure. You cannot shut down Planned Parenthood. Planned Parenthood cannot have any revenue losses. They cannot be denied their 400 deaths per week at this Treblinka down here on Gulf Freeway in Houston. 400 babies a week.
Meanwhile, every other small business in America is being shuttered against their will and watching their life work and their life dream go down the tubes every day that we keep the economy shut down.
That's why I call it a pan panic, Terry, and that's why I said that I was going to be the pan panic, the anti-pan panic talk show host, because I think these measures are over the top and were totally 100% unnecessary.
I'm terrified of what this means as far as a precedent goes, because every nation that hates America is watching what just happened. They can take down America without firing a shot by simply releasing a bioweapon into our health system.
And
that is all it's going to take. And they can shut down every business, our economy. And who knows how long it's going to take to recover from just this one.
Well,
how do we know that this isn't just the first round and there's a wave of 3 more coming?
I have had people on Raging Elephants Radio, on my program, pure speculation that this is germ warfare, that this is biological warfare, that this was done on purpose by China because their economy was being stunted by the Trump economic sanctions and the tariffs, and they're having the worst economic period they've had in the last 20 years. They're only getting 2 or 3% GDP growth now, and so that's a recession to them, and so they unleashed this. But you're absolutely right. They don't have to fire an ICBM to stop the United States of America. Thus, unleash a virus that's been produced in a biolab somewhere, biowarfare, germ warfare, and we're toast. We're toast.
Well, we already know this particular strain of coronavirus started in a lab in China. So at the end of the day, whether or not the government deemed it such, it's pretty easy to draw the conclusion that this was let out, whether accidental or not, and everyone can see what's happened because of it and know exactly how to take down the United States of America. And we can't let this happen. We can't just go on and on with this open-ended, well, we'll just see how many deaths we have or how many people get it or how many counties become affected. And, we don't shut down the country when we have people dying of flu or even H1N1, the swine flu, when Obama was president. None of this happened. There was no travel ban. There was no shutting down the economy. There was no, you are not allowed to keep your business open. There was nothing that said you have to stay at your house, and if you leave for anything we deem non-essential, you're going to be arrested and potentially put in jail for 6 months for leaving your house. I feel like I woke up in a socialist country.
No, we are in a socialist country.
I'm trapped in my own country.
It's totalitarian.
My freedom is taken from me over some virus.
It's utterly totalitarian. I said from the very beginning that this was overreach. The economy is not going to make a V-shaped recovery. You just don't turn on the light switch and flip on a $20 trillion GDP economy overnight.
People have already let their workers go. They've let their workers go. The consequences have already happened. And the longer you keep extending unemployment, we're going to be socialist. Look at everybody now is looking to the government to bail them out of their situation. The government created it, and now they're going to look to the government to figure it out. And this is not the precedent we need to be setting every time some novel virus gets released on the world. We can't. We're not going to be the giant anymore. Because remember when we were attacked at Pearl Harbor, it was, we awakened the sleeping giant. We're not going to be a giant. We're going to be like a pea. By the time we're done, we're not going to be a force to be reckoned with at all because they will have taken down our country economically to a point where there's a point of no return. And we just have to balance this somehow. I get that we have a public health crisis. I get it. I have 8 kids with asthma. They have a lung issue. I have had 2 that have been hospitalized with pneumonia complications already in their lifetime. And one of them almost didn't make it. So I get how terrifying this is. I do not want my kids to get it, and I don't want your family to get it. And so I get how terrifying this is. But at the end of the day, we can't shut down our lives over this. We just can't. This isn't Ebola. And I don't understand when we have a drug that can work, the anti-malarial drug, along with the Z-Pak and whatever that third drug is. And people, it has a 100% success rate of that one doctor in New York that's been doing it. He's done it on 700 patients, and only 4 of them ever needed to be hospitalized. They are treating this with drugs we have right now today in hand, and the president already waived the whole FDA rules on it, so this drug could be used to treat coronavirus patients. I don't understand why we can't beef up and mass produce that drug and get it to all the states and into all the hospitals or doctors' offices that need it, and start unlocking this shutdown of our economy. Because it works. It's already proven to work on 700 people. I think that's a pretty good track record. And at this point, we have nothing to lose.
Well, I've said
by doing that, we have everything to lose by keeping it the way it is. We need to look at the innovation we already came up with, treat people with this cocktail of drugs, and I don't think we're going to need all the ventilators. I don't think we're going to need the tent hospitals. I don't think we're going to need all that if you simply treat people with the drugs we already know have worked on patients in New York.
Well, we have a friend of ours whose son is in the military who got it back in January, got COVID-19 back in January, is recovered and back on active duty. But that's the thing that I think we have to watch is what level of tyranny is going to be exacted upon us, and then it's going to remain. And I've already
That's
said
exactly
that
right.
Bernie
How
Sanders.
much of this are we going to be able to dial back?
Exactly. I've already said the Bernie Sanders worldview of democratic socialism in the United States is already reality. He doesn't have to be elected president of the United States. It's already enacted. On yesterday, Terry, speaking of transportation, and I want your view on this. Speaking of transportation, now the proposal for the bailouts of the airlines is for the
I knew
U.S.
you were going to bring
government.
that up. Oh my
US,
goodness.
the U.S. government is taking equity stakes in airlines, just like France and the Netherlands, just like France owns, 15% of Renault.
Look at the criticism we leveled against the Obama administration for taking over the auto industry and their bailout. And yet we have Trump doing the same thing with the airlines. And now he wants a $2 trillion infrastructure plan. And why is that? What does that have to do with fighting a virus? Well, we all know it's because unemployment's about to hit 20 to 30%, which has never happened in America, outside of World War II, I believe. And we're gonna hit our country so hard that so this is a jobs thing now. Now they're gonna come up with, okay, we're just gonna print more money and come up with this other deal and get everyone back to work building roads. Well, guess what? There's more than one industry that's gonna have to bring America back economically. You can't do it with just one sector. And spending $2 trillion, what's the cost benefit right there when we have every other industry in this country suffering?
Okay, this is different from 9/11, okay? In 9/11, the airline industry was hit. It took 3 years to recover. I don't remember, maybe correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think the hoteliers and restaurants were hit that hard. I don't think the retailers were hit that hard after 9/11. You had the airlines hit. Okay, when you had the financial breakdown, you had the banks and the auto companies that were hit and the mortgage companies. Now they're talking about bailing out the casinos. They're talking about bailing out the cruise lines. They're talking about bailing out everyone. $2 trillion.
The hospitality industry alone is how many billions? I mean, and that's just it. Did we not learn from Thatcher's famous quote? There is never going to be enough of other people's money to give everybody what they want for free. It's never going to happen. We do not have the money to bail out every industry in America and get everybody back to the way it was 3 weeks ago. It's never going to happen. And we're not going to have anything to produce. We're not going to have anything to buy if we don't get people back to work producing those things.
And not only that, but take for instance, I got pictures. Let me put these pictures up that I took, Terry. I'm gonna take you off the screen just for a second, but I took some pictures. Here's a video that I took, okay, of driving through Memorial City Mall, and there's not a single car. Macy's is the anchor of Memorial City Mall. They were just removed today from the S&P 500 because now they are considered a small cap stock. Here's pictures right here of Macy's parking lot. There's no cars there in the entire Memorial City Mall. I mean, the damage that's going to be done economically,
that's right.
it may
There's
be irreparable.
There's no way
we may never be able to get back to normal economically for a long, long time. Think of 9/11.
Exactly.
Think of 9/11, where just the airlines were really hit. You're talking about
That's
everybody and everything being shut down, small businesses that have been around generationally that are in trouble. Think about companies that just started up in November of 2019, or they opened their doors in January of 2020, and now look at where they're at. They're in trouble. They're in big trouble.
And you know, it was interesting. I don't know if you get the Texas Public Policy Foundation's newsletter each day, but they had a very interesting article today that I thought was another. Now this is government. It's and in some cases it'll be private universities will have the same problem. But they said after all these college kids have had to be go back home and do all of their learning by distance learning and online, when the parents get the tuition bill in the fall for the next year, they're going to start scratching their heads and wondering, is it worth the money they're being asked to pay for higher education when maybe there's another way we can do this? And imagine if all those college kids don't come back, whether it's private or public school, universities. And, you know, I homeschool my kids, so obviously I'm into alternatives to education. I get that. And I have one that's done distance learning. I have one that's in a physical school. But at the end of the day, Imagine what that hit's going to be like. You know how much debt our universities carry? And all these building projects they love to build. Oh, they love to expand their dorms and expand their research buildings and all this other stuff. How is that going to impact everything? I mean, that's just one sector that just, who knows all the things that are going to be impacted by this. I hope it means we're going to get rid of a lot of regulations we didn't need, because when you see a lot of these executive orders that are coming across Abbott's desk, a lot of them make sense. Just let's go with liberty. Let's let people do the things that we're able to do now. But then at the contrast to that, the downside is all of the totalitarian big government nanny state moves that are being done by government. How much of that will we realistically ever be able to dial back after this has happened? Once they've done it once, we all know how easy it is to go down this road again.
But it's just like France. Like I said, Terry, when the Democrats are getting everything that they want, and
yes, they are.
It's just like France. I used France as just one example where the government literally has stakes in so-called private companies. They have equity stakes in private companies. The largest stockholder in Renault, the car manufacturer, is the French government. The largest stakeholders in the holders of stock, equity holders in Air France, KLM, they combined, is the Netherlands and France at 14.3% each of the stock. What happens if you have the United States government becomes a majority shareholder in a major Fortune 100 or Fortune 500 corporation? This is untenable. This is unconscionable. The Bernie Sanders worldview is a reality right now without any 2020 election.
Yes, it is.
I mean, this is what they're proposing.
There's no question.
If you want a bailout, this is what this $2 trillion bailout is all about. If you want a bailout, then you're going to have to give us equity in your company. That's part of the deal. The U.S. government is going to have equity in your company. You've got the Federal Reserve that is taking stakes in exchange-traded funds. The Federal Reserve is actually intervening in the capital markets. I mean, this is socialism. This is Democrat socialism.
Yes, it is.
This is Hugo Chavez. This is Maduro. This is France. This is socialist country. This is socialism right here in the United States, right here, right now. The idea that the United States will become a socialist country is fallacy. It already is, and these bailout packages are furthering us down the path of Democrat socialism. And the other thing, Terry, is that I don't know if the ability to turn this around is there. I don't know if the American people are aware of what's going on. I really don't.
I don't know. I mean, I have some kind of set of friends and family that are just trying to bury their heads in the ground, turn off all social media and the TV, and try not to, devolve into panic every day. And then you have others that are combing the news feeds every 5 minutes to see what's happening, what's going on, the number of cases, and all the executive orders and the liberties that are being taken from us. So I think all of this, there's got to be a balance somewhere in the middle here, but between the health and the economic issues that we're facing with this crisis. But I think there's no question that the socialists and the Democrats are getting everything they need. I mean, have you ever seen Nancy Pelosi so giddy about, let's get this infrastructure bill done now. Let's get this other bill done now. But I mean, she's got her wish list and she's getting it. She's getting everything that she could ever dream of out of Trump right now. And I'm sorry, when we have kumbaya going on with that wing of the Democrat Party that is so extreme, that is so anti-liberty, that is not the free market.
Demons are having a party.
Oh my stars!
The demons of hell are having a party. And let's do the addition. The president, and we understand that he had to do this. The military was definitely hollowed out. Okay, so $2 trillion to retool the military. We got that. $2 trillion for this bailout package. That's another 10% of the annual GDP that I don't know where they're going to get the money from. Now you're talking about a $2 trillion infrastructure. The country already borrows money for our national defense because we're doing deficit spending on a on year on top of year
Yes.
basis.
Yes.
I mean,
Exactly.
then you've got $160 trillion in unfunded mandated liabilities because of Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, and the debt that continues to pile up, the debt service. The financial health of the United States is under question. And then I've been attacking the president. I've been hard on him about Russia attacking us, the oil producers here in Texas, specifically trying to drive our shale producers out of business. You've got shale producers already filing for bankruptcy. You got others that were on the verge of trying to get out of bankruptcy. And now on the futures market, oil is bouncing back between $19 and $21 a barrel. But on the cash spot market, you've got 42 gallons of oil, which is a barrel of oil, trading at $4. In some instances on the spot cash market, oil is trading at negative, less than $1. This is going to obliterate the Texas backbone, our economy. And so that 2013 water bill, that 2014 transportation bill, in which they proposed, and the plutocracy did, the establishment did, and Texas voters foolishly approved it, siphoning off the funds before they even hit the rainy day fund, it is going to bite us in the derriere, Terry.
Yes, it will, because that's going to mean now all those projects that were already approved and in the planning stages, and the environmental work's being done and getting everything approved on them, they're all going to come to a screeching halt, because now you're going to have some real tough decisions about what projects get cut and what projects get built, because we have an unfunded 10-year plan at this point. And that also puts in jeopardy what the governor finally did for us with the I-35 being done non-toll. Now that's in doubt. And of course, you have this lobby group, this Keep Texas Moving group that's being funded by Sintra and the Texas Association of Business, that's trying to tell the governor you get your get-out-of-jail-free card by passing a public-private partnership toll road bill next session, so that we'll just privatize and toll everything, because the private sector will come in riding on their white horse and provide all the funds you need to get your roads done that you can't do now on your own. Well, at the end of the day, let's remember how those deals are funded. 3/4 of the money still comes from borrowing from the taxpayer that we guarantee in one form or another through the TIFIA loan program, the federal TIFIA loan program, and the private activity bond program, which is also a federally backed program. So when you hear the $2 trillion infrastructure bill, when you hear them saying, oh, we just need the private sector to come in and fix our roads, don't fall for it. Think $3 a mile. If you're in Washington, D.C. today, it's over $4 a mile. Do you remember that on I-66 in Virginia? It is $44 one way to take those toll lanes.
Yeah,
that's what's going to happen to this country.
There. I used to live in D.C.
And if we pass this bill, we don't even know what's in the last bill they passed. You know how long it takes to read 800 pages? I've had to do it. I've done it before on a sunset bill. I'm probably the only one in the whole state that even read it cover to cover. And the same thing with these environmental studies and stuff, and these 1,200-page contracts that they sign with Sintra. It takes me months to read these things. We don't even know what they already passed, and we're already talking about round 4. I can guarantee you not one elected official or their staff will have the ability to read that bill before they pass it. And God knows what they'll throw in it. And it'll be all kinds of taxpayer-backed loans for the private guys. It'll be state infrastructure bank, federal infrastructure bank, you name it. Every bad policy we finally put the clamp on when we made those 2 trips up to talk to the Trump people early on in his administration. All of that's going to just go flying out the window when you got Nancy Pelosi running the House and authoring the bill.
Okay, Terry,
we're in a heap of trouble.
Terry, I only have a few minutes left, and it's my fault, but I've got to ask you, do you have an update on bullet train progress in the state? The super train they're still determined to try to get the train built for the Texas Triangle. Is there any type of update on that? I only got a couple of minutes, but I want, if you do have something, please share it, and we'll catch up. We'll get a full report later on next week sometime.
I did see a news report that Texas Central, which, as you know, is a Japanese-owned firm that's trying to build this high-speed rail between Houston and Dallas, and take a bunch of Texas land with eminent domain for private gain. It's a horrible deal, no matter how you slice it. And they're supposedly now laying off workers. So that's a good thing. That means that the money is not coming together for them. But if we get an infrastructure bill, I can guarantee you they've got lobbyists swarming the Capitol right now, making sure that there's some kind of a loan deal in there that's going to bail out that project and put them back on track if we pass this thing in a rush. So be keeping your eyes and ears open. If you're one of those people that's going to be affected by that horrible project, you be on the phone to your congressman and your senator tomorrow, your 2 state senators tomorrow, and tell them under no circumstances do you want an infrastructure bill that's going to privatize our roads or that's going to give a bailout or any kind of a federally backed loan to this high-speed rail company as part of this deal.
Amen.
Because I'm telling you, right now, they're all just kumbaya. We're just going to pass it because anyone, you saw the political and media circus surrounding anyone. Who's going to be the one that's going to hold up this stimulus bill? They are already setting them up. If you are going to be a naysayer, if you're going to question this kind of money and socializing of our economy, that you are now the devil and you want people to die in hospital beds with no ventilators if you oppose these things. And we cannot allow that kind of a narrative to go through, and they need to be hearing from us, folks, because silence is approval. Remember that. And it's the same thing with Governor Abbott. We need to prevail upon the governor to have this very common sense tax relief for people who have unpaid toll bills and are now being told they can't go to work and therefore can't pay their bill and have potentially their only way to ever get to a job when this whole thing ends, have their car taken from them and basically no way to pay to get it out.
All right,
we can't do this.
Give the governor's telephone number one more time, Terry, before I'll let you go.
Indeed, it's 512-463-2000. 512-463-2000.
Leave him a message and tell him waive all tolls, all penalties, all fines, wipe them off the book. We got this coronavirus panic going on, and it's absolutely transportation tyranny to keep these tolls up while this is going on. Terry, thank you so much.
That's right.
It's so good to hear from you again. It's so good to hear your voice. It's so great to have you back, and it's great to be back. And there's so much I need to tell you about the campaign when it comes to toll roads and what I learned from the electorate about toll roads and their views on it, going out there knocking door to door. I got to tell you about that the next time I have you on. I'll give you the details on that, and I want your response to what some of these voters were saying about toll roads and the potential of outlawing, shutting down toll roads in Texas. I want to share that with you. We just didn't have enough time this time, but I have you back on again, and we'll finish that conversation. Thank you, Terry.
I'll look forward to it. Thanks, Claver.
Terry Hall of Texas Turf. That's TURF. And you need to sign up for the email. Find her on the website. She is the foremost authority when it comes to transportation, liberty, and tyranny in the Lone Star State. And too many Texans overlook that. Transportation liberty, getting from point A to point B. The liberty of being able to go where you want to go, when you want to go, where you want to go, how you want to do it. And our liberties are being abridged on that. Terry Hall keeps an hawk eye out on that for us, and this is why she's an RER contributor. Thanks to Terry Hall once again. Guys, I ran a little bit over. I'm out of time. I got to say toodaloo. I'm Apostle Claver T. Kamau-Imani, the Christian politician, your ultra-conservative soul brother. My enemies under the pink dome call me the purifier, and I liked it. Please be an RER evangelist. Tell somebody about RagingElePhantsRadio.com because no one does what we do. Focus on Texas 24/7, 365. May the Lord Jesus bless you. May the Lord Jesus bless the past and soon-to-be future independent sovereign republic of Texas.